Hey guys, Cody Hofhine with Wholesaling Inc., the #1 wholesaling coaching program in the nation. And we are in another house right now that we just picked up and are going to make a huge, huge profit. So we're gonna be going through it. Now, while you're with me right here, click below on the subscribe button and also hit that bell so that you can get the alert when we upload new videos, which we're doing every single week. Now let's hop right into this deal. Okay guys, always without fail, I get great questions from our viewers like you that will always have great questions that I really love to answer. So they're always wondering, how did you get the deal? What list did you get it from? What was the marketing channel? So we're gonna go over that right now so that you can understand how we got this deal that I'm standing in right this moment. So first and foremost, in the office, this came from cold calling, okay? We've talked a lot about that. You see within our YouTube channel, Brent Daniels talking about cold calling and the power of it, right? We do a lot of direct mail. We do a lot of pay-per-click on the internet. We do a lot of referral work, and we do a lot of cold calling. So the cold calling is what got us this actual deal. We had our list. You guys ready for this? The list was eviction, okay? So write this down, and if you aren't mailing or marketing to the eviction list, I'm gonna tell you right now, do it, do it, do it. This has been a very, very hot list for Utah, and I would only imagine it's a very hot list for any state in this great nation. So I want you to look at a few things. What does eviction mean? It means someone has owned this home as a landlord and had renters in here that he was renting the home out for cash flow purposes or to have the mortgage be paid for, whatever, right? What happens is maybe the tenants are trashing the home. And this home, I wouldn't say it's in awful condition, but you can see how there's been some wear and tear from the tenants that were renting this home. And maybe the tenants got behind, and on this particular story, the tenants got behind on paying their rent. This is a no-no. This is where the landlord, the owner of the home is like, like I'm not paying for this mortgage for you to live there for free. And so he sends out what's called an eviction. And in most states, if not all states, that is a public record where you can get a hold of all of the landlords that are putting forth an eviction to kick out their tenants. So they don't want them in there anymore. And so they have to go through the eviction process to get them out legally. If you can get your hands on that eviction list, what you'll find out is you're gonna be talking to landlords that some of them, they will re-rent it. They'll get new tenants in and they'll just go right back at it. But then you'll call some landlords where they're like, I don't wanna be a landlord no more. And such is the case with this home. He's like, I'm done. Every time a tenant moves out or every time a tenant gets evicted, I have to come back in here and put $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 to get it rent ready again. And it was frustrating to him. And so that's what the eviction list is. That's the kind of problems you can come across. You can come across happy landlords that are like, yeah, don't worry about it. That's just part of the business. And you can come across the ones that are like, I am fed up. Those are the landlords that you want to be calling. So get your hands on that list and start marketing to them, whether it's direct mail, which we do, which is cold calling, which is how we got this, or however marketing channel you like and whatever you want to do, go for it, do it. So we called this individual and you could tell he was stressed out. He was super bugged at the tenants that were in here, and he says, yeah, come on out, come take a look at the property and let's see if there's something that could be a fit here. So I'm gonna walk you through this home to kind of show you a little bit about what I have to do and what my team has to do when they come to the home. It's not just as easy as just going out there and saying, okay, here's our number. You gotta really take a look at some of the things that are gonna be involved in this home. So let's take a look and walk through the house now. So when this individual, when we got in contact with him and we knew the address because we were calling him, and when he showed interest that, yeah, I might be able to sell this to you, I'd look at entertaining an offer. We were excited. Why? Because this is the area that is it's like the go-to place for Utah. This is the place where young families are moving in. It's homes that are, and you can tell, it's an older home, older style home. It's built in the 1920s. But this neighborhood, everyone loves this neighborhood. It's like your upper end, and it seems like everyone owns a dog and they're always walking them on leashes. Like, it just has a unique feel that's specific to this area, to this city. And so we were really intrigued when he said yes, because we love the area. It's a hot area. We have some of the best hospitals in the world right here in Utah, with the University of Utah Hospital, with Primary Children's, with the one in Murray, which is called IMC. These are huge hospitals that a lot of good doctors are moving into Utah, and the doctors choose this area. This is the area where realtors are like, you're gonna wanna go to this area. This area is a phenomenal area. It's a safe area. It's got great schools. And so that's what made us really like, hey, let's jump on this. Let's go up there and let's see what we can do. As we come up here, you can tell it's not in awful condition. It is livable. It's something that you can turn around and sell. And so as you go and look through this home, let's kind of walk through this a little bit so that you can kind of see what I'm looking at. So the carpets, yes, they're a little bit stained. I mean, the tile, gosh, I mean, now that I'm here and looking at it, it was tile that was gray, but is no longer gray. They painted it black. So that's actually just floor paint on the tile to make it look like they put black tile down, but it's not black tile because it's been flaking. In fact, there's your original tile color right there. And what they did is paint it black, which is interesting. You don't see this often. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen it. But that's the original tile color right there. They scraped off the paint right there. It's got a little cute little one bedroom or one bathroom on the main level. The basement's unfinished, but it gives them space to grow. It's just got a couple bedrooms here. I mean, the carpets are old, but again, livable. It's not anything. The windows have been updated. It's not the aluminum or steel frame. It is the vinyl windows, which is nice for insulation. And so that has been an upgrade. It does have all of its flooring. It doesn't have any broken windows. And really, it's gonna be one of those homes that you start to look at it with multiple options. What I like about having multiple options is the fact that you're not struggling or handcuffed to just one thing, maybe just a simple assignment of a contract to another cash buyer. But this one has multiple ways of going about this. There are definitely landlords that would love to own this home, that would love to have rentals in this area because rents are super high up here. So that's one out. The second one is simply assign the contract. But on this one, what we're actually going to do is my favorite. Is on a simple assignment, and we own this. We bought this outright, so we didn't even have to do an assignment. But if we were to sell it to another investor, we may make 10, 15, maybe, no, probably $20,000. Let's put it safe. So we put it under contract for $300,000. That's what the numbers are at. We end up coming up here, striking a deal at $300,000. When this home is fixed up, it's gonna be worth $450,000. So there's a $150,000 difference there, but still there's quite a bit of fix up to make it worth that value. So it's not worth it as is condition. It's not worth that right now, but it can be to a future investor or a future homeowner that wants to buy this home and fix it up. It can be worth $450,000 when they fix it up and do the proper fix ups like they would with some of the neighborhood. But what we really wanted to do here, instead of just sending it over to another investor and only make maybe $20,000, what we're gonna do on this one, because it's such a desirable area and young families are looking for this neighborhood and they're looking for this price range, instead of having to pay $450,000 for this home when it's all fixed up, you've got people that want to buy it at a discount and do the work themselves over the years so they can build it to the point where it's worth $450,000 but not paying $450,000. So what we're gonna do with this home is we're actually gonna do what's called a wholetail deal. And we talked about this in earlier videos. One of our first videos that I did was talking about wholetailing, where you simply do the combination of wholesale and retail to make the word wholetail, right? So it's wholetailing. You go get it under contract at a deep discount, and then you simply buy it and then put it right back on the MLS or on the market and list it with an agent literally the next day to go get your highest paying buyer, and that is a retail buyer, someone that wants to live here permanently for good. Let's keep looking through here why I keep following around with this story and kind of look a little bit about some of the pros about this area. As we're going down the stairs, you're going to see in these older homes, it's like crazy. I feel like I'm not even walking downstairs. I feel like I'm walking down a ladder. This baby is like whoosh, like steep. So we're going down here, and if you're not careful, I mean, look it. I could hit my head on this ceiling. I could hit my head on this ceiling and this ceiling. And ultimately, I could hit my head, and I'm not tall. Look at this. Hey, nothing like a short ceiling for a short man. So this is the basement. It's not fully finished. I mean, it's been done. It has linoleum down on the floor. But ultimately, you could turn this into another bedroom. Let's see if we don't have lights, so it's going to be dark in there. That's just a closet. But this is where your mechanical room is. This is where your water heater is, your furnace. This is where the washer and dryer is going to be. And ultimately, you could put another bathroom down here so that ultimately you have another bathroom. But again, we are not going to worry about this. This is going to be someone else's problem to fix up however they want to fix up. All we're doing is the art of wholesaling. And again, guys, don't overcomplicate the definition of wholesaling. Wholesaling is just simply the art of finding a property at a deep discount. Because from there, the exit's it doesn't matter what your exit is. You capitalize and find out what your best strategy is. But if you can find consistently deeply discounted properties, you're gonna make a lot of money. Ultimately, when we put this on the MLS, we're gonna put it on the MLS at $379, but I think it's gonna go up to about $400,000. So we don't wanna put it up right out of the gates at $400,000 because it's just gonna get minimal views from retail buyers. They're just gonna look at it and be like, I don't know, it's like right at the peak, I don't know. You don't want that. We talk about this all the time, it's my favorite word, feeding frenzy. You want a ton of buyers involved in this. You want a ton of buyers that really want this home. What do you do to do that? You price it right. Price it less. Price it and you're going to think, oh, and your natural mind's going to tell you, no, because what if it only sells for that? Then I didn't make the money I really wanted to make. I really wanted to make $400,000. Put it at $379, get 10, 15, 20 people interested in this, and let them start bidding it up to $400,000 or $410,000 or $415,000, whatever it is. Let that happen because of that feeding frenzy. It's crucial that you price it right, and you'll see that this will go up anyways. Now, if you do the listing and you do it traditionally, you got to think of a couple things, okay? Remember this, we've shared this before, but I want to make sure I say it again. So if you're going to do the wholetail deal, which is something we love because you end up selling it to your highest paying cash buyer, or not cash buyer, but your highest paying buyer, and that is a retail buyer. If you're going to go that route, there's a couple things you want to remember. Here in winter, we're in the freezing cold right now. That's why I have my coat on. Again, I can't stress this enough. Make sure, A, you have insurance on it while you own it, and that it's a vacant home policy, not a rental, because we're not renting it out. That's not the policy. A vacant home policy. Second is get the utilities in your name. Lights and heat and water, right? Because if the heat's not on, these pipes freeze and you're gonna have a huge, huge mess. In fact, you can tell, let's get this up here. You can see all this mess right here. In fact, that looks like mold. But this is some mess that can happen. Now, this is minimal compared to what can happen if pipes really freeze. If these pipes freeze in the house, you're gonna have a huge mess. You're gonna have a huge problem, and you're gonna potentially not sell the deal because it's now a waterlogged house. So make sure you put utilities in your name and keep the house warm so that it doesn't freeze. And then also make sure you do have insurance, and make sure that you are visiting it often, because when people know that homes are vacant, that's when they tend to break in and sleep in your house, right? You don't want that. You don't want people breaking in knowing that the home's vacant. These are the key things that you do behind this. Ultimately, if you're gonna list it on the MLS, plan about 10%. This is just round numbers. If you have an agent that's gonna list it for 1%, yes, the cost is gonna go down. But if for just round numbers, look at 10% in fees. 3% to the listing agent, 3% to the buying agent, and then you've got your 3 to 4% in closing costs. So just round up for easy numbers, 10%. So if we end up selling this for $400,000, your fees are gonna be right around ballpark again, guys. This is not to just hold me to a number. This is to give you a safe number. $40,000 in fees, which means you would net $360,000. We put this under contract at $300,000. We're gonna make $60,000 on this one deal. Now, the beautiful thing about this, we served this individual so much. We wanted to come in here and help him out. He was stressed out. He was frustrated that tenants did this to the house, that they trashed it, that they weren't paying rent. He was frustrated. Originally, he thought he was gonna fix it up. And we told him, listen, you can do that, and we'll even help you find the things that you're looking for. So serve, guys. It's all about helping out. We said, what kind of things are you looking to remodel? And we'll see if we can have some kind of a hookup or discount to help you out so that we can pass that along to you so that you can fix this up and be well on your way to sell this at your max amount. So we let him know that is the way he's gonna get his max return, is either just list it himself, remodel himself, and then put it back on the market. But we will buy it as is, and we can close in as little as 7 days, and we will do all the fix up, we'll do everything. That was intriguing to him. He's like, it's that simple? And I said, yeah, it's that simple. We do this all the time. He's like, so it's Monday today. You're saying you can close on Friday. And I said, that's 5 days, but yeah, we'll close on Friday if that works for you. We served this individual so much that he left us an awesome review for our company, saying he couldn't believe it was that simple. He couldn't believe that we'd buy it as is and that we'd close in 5 days, not 7 days, but that we would just work with him. And we helped him find out what was the best options. We let him know that your highest and best is gonna be listing with a real estate agent, that you could re-rent this out and be a landlord, you're in a great area, or we could buy it for cash at this price. He loved what our cash offer was because it solved all the problems he was having. Ultimately, the goals he was trying to achieve were gonna be solved with us buying the home as is in 5 days. And that's what we did. We closed on it super quick, and we're gonna maximize this by just simply putting it back on the MLS, and it might take 30 days, it might take 60 days, but we're gonna hopefully make 60 grand on this. Now, the last tip I wanna tell you, if you're gonna buy homes and put them on the market that wholetail way, right? Where you buy it at a deep discount and put it back on the market, you could run into the FHA home buyers problem, which is you have to own the home. Me, since I bought this home, if your buyer is an FHA buyer, that means you're going to have to own the home for 90 days before you can resell it. So that's something to remember. If you're borrowing money to buy the home, you got to figure in the cost of that money so that you don't go upside down. Now, this has such a great margin that 3 months of borrowing money is not going to cost that much money. So don't let that scare you. But always remember that. You got to figure the cost of listing it with the agents and your closing costs. Think of 10%. You got to think of hard cash or borrowing money. What's that going to cost you? You got a cost on the utilities. You've got cost on insurance. Figure those things out so that you can make sure that this really is the best option. And on this one, it truly is the best option to do the wholesale deal. I hope this has been adding value to your wholesaling business. I hope this is something that you can implement today, that you know the action items, that you, when you go into a home, you know how to quickly look at it and say, okay, this is better to just simply sell the contract, or this is better to put a wholesale deal together, or this is better to send to a landlord. You start to get really good at that. When you do, you start to maximize how much money you're gonna make with your wholesaling business. Guys, this has been a fun home. I hope it's helped you out. Go down there and hit that subscribe button while you're here. Also hit that bell so it will alert you when we put up new videos. And then ultimately, I want to hear if you guys have ever done a wholesale deal before. Have you done a wholesale deal before? If so, comment down below. I want to hear your story. How did it work out? Even if it's something that it didn't work out great, share it. I want to hear it. And I want to see if there's a way that I could maybe pour into it and say like, okay, next time instead of doing that, do this. I would love to help out in any way with your wholesale deals. So share your wins, share your losses, share it right here in the comments below, and I will see you on our next YouTube video right here at Wholesaling Inc. God bless, guys.